Welcome in to Cavalier Field. I am Justin Hurd alongside for today's matchup. First pitch thrown down at 6:59 p.m. and we are underway against the Hayes Larks. As it is Jace Gifford on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Getting the start tonight, facing against CJ Reed of the Larks. That's a hit. So first hit of the ball game offered up to CJ Reed. So that brings in Trent Baker. Baker, the two-hole hitter. So it is Reed, Baker, LaRue. A line drive out into right field, and just like that, back-to-back hitters on board for the Hayes Larks. So that'll bring in Dylan LaRue. So the batting order, and you saw the graphics before the game started. So the batting order for the Larks, Reed, Baker, LaRue, Sparks, Babcock, Stokes, Lissy, Rios, and Gray is the batting order for the Larks. First pitch into LaRue for ball number one. So LaRue takes that one, grounded to the second baseman. They'll go to first for the out, and it is an ground out for LaRue, but it moves both runners into scoring position. One away with two on for the Larks. So the defensive alignment for your Dodge City A's, left or right in the outfield, it is Isaiah Velasco, Jacoby Radcliffe, and Blake Coleman. Is Gifford misses outside with ball one. From third to first across the infield, Ethan Kang, Edward Gregory Jr., Kane Carlos, and Cade Colbreth. It is Dominic Roberts getting the start behind the plate. And Jace Gifford on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Lane Sparks up at bat right now, takes that low. It's a called strike. Makes the count 2 balls, 1 strike to him. So the A's played these Hayes Larks. It is the Hayes Larks opening day. It was the A's opening day 1 year ago today, exactly, June the 4th, where the A's took that ball game over the Larks by a score of 4-3. So a 3-1 count to Sparks. And the pitch misses outside, and it's bases loaded. One away for the Larks. Brings in Jackson Babcock. Gifford gets a ground ball, goes to second for one, the throw to first in time, and the A's get themselves out of a bases-loaded jam with the double play that will end the inning. We are scoreless after the top of the first. We're headed to the bottom of the first. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Cavalier as Jacoby Radcliffe leads off, and he tries to lay down a bunt, almost gets it done, and almost, by the hair of his chinny chin, just almost beats it out, but not able to get it done. One away for the A's. Edward Gregory Jr. up right now, and he fouls that one off. He's down in the count 0-2. One away for the Dodge City A's, and it was the A's who, after taking 2 games from the Great Bend Batcats, fell last night on opening night in Liberal 3-2 against the Liberal BJs. Another opening night, this time for the Hayes Larks, being hosted right here at Cavalier Field, as Gregory sends that one to the third baseman. Lissy throw to first in time, but bobbled and dropped, so it will be an error on the first baseman. So that brings in Cade Colbreth, 1 on and 1 away for your Dodge City A's. The A's looking to get back into the win column here tonight as Colbreth takes a pitch low and outside, but it's called a strike. Down in the count, 0-1. 0-1 delivery coming, misses outside. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Tonight is a non-league matchup between the A's and Larks. Everything from here on between these two teams will count towards the league standings. That pitch is fouled off. And Colbreth down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike him out. They tried the old strike him out, throw him out, but Gregory able to get in safely at second. Colbreth down on strikes, and Edward Gregory in with another stolen base. So that brings up Blake Coleman. Coleman bats in the 4-hole for the Dodge City A's. Let's talk about the defensive alignment for the Hayes Larks. In the outfield, left to right, Dylan LaRue, Trent Baker, and Lane Sparks. Third to first across the infield as Gregory goes, and staying in, sliding on the bag with another stolen base. So 0-1 count to Blake Coleman. Braxton Buer on the mound for the Hayes Larks, and at pitch in for a strike has Coleman down in the count, 0-2. The Larks tonight wearing their gray uniforms, their tops, as that one's grounded to the third baseman. The throw to first is wild. Another throwing error on the Hayes Larks. So that brings in Isaiah Velasco. He'll take the first pitch he sees. It's down low and outside for ball 1. So as I was saying earlier, the Larks with their gray uniforms, their tops have a blue stripe across the top of the sleeve as Velasco pokes one out into center field, and that puts 2 on and 2 away, and a run has already scored for the A's. So that brings in Kane Carlos. Kane just recently joining the team. Made the trip to Liberal with the team yesterday, but didn't play in that game. He'll take the first one he sees and sends it foul. Down in the count, 0-1 is Carlos. Pitch is called strike. Carlos down in the count, 0-2, getting his first at-bats with the Dodge City A's here this evening. He'll send that one, sends it to the third baseman, and he'll take it. Oh, not able to get to the bag in time. It'll be an infield hit for Kane Carlos. So that brings in Ryan Buckley. He's down in the count 0-1. The A's have sent 7 to the plate already in this inning. And that one's grounded at the first baseman. He'll take it unassisted. That ends the inning, as the inning will end uneventful, and that will send us to the top of the second. The A's lead at 1-0. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Top of the second, and it is Tabor Stokes leading off for the Hayes Larks. So the A's got out of a bases loaded jam in the top of the first. The Larks strand 3 and get nothing out of it. First pitch to Stokes was over his head, ball number 1. Several familiar faces on this Hayes Larks team, as that one's popped up, and it might fall in the stands, but it goes behind us for strike number 1. Jace Gifford on the mound for his second inning of work for the A's, and that pitch in for strike gets Stokes down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One away for the Larks. Brings in Thomas Lissy, and he'll take the first pitch. He sees it's ball one. So the A's rocking the white uniforms tonight. Lissy sends out when it's grounded to the second baseman, Carlos. Throw to first in time, and now 2 away. So the A's with their white uniforms, white pants, white tops. Their tops have the A's logo on the front left shoulder. Their both sleeves, green and yellow stripes, and then their numeral on the back outlined in green. It is a yellow numeral outlined in green. The throw to first is wild, and that'll put the runner on at second. So that brings in Nick Gray. Gray, the 9-hole hitter for the Larks, is the designated hitter tonight. He'll take the first pitch. It's high for ball number 1. Game 4 of the season for your Dodge City A's. Slated to play 39 games this season as that pitch misses, and it's ball 2. Gray sends that one out into left field. That puts runners on the corners. Turns the lineup back over to C.J. Reed, who led off with a single back in the top of the first. Reed takes the first pitch. He sees it's a fly ball headed out into the gap in left center. Pulled down by Radcliffe, and that will end the inning as the Larks strand 2 more. And they come up scoreless. We're headed to the bottom of the second. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Dom Roberts now set to lead off for the Dodge City A's as we've worked our way into the bottom of the second inning. Roberts, a 2-0 count. Three balls, no strikes account for Roberts. And it is a 4-pitch walk. So Braxton Brewer out now for his second inning of work. Has thrown 23 pitches already. 17 have been strikes, so he's been efficient. And we'll go to work with Ethan Kang. Kang, the 9-hole hitter for the A's. Takes the first pitch he sees for a called strike. Down in the count, 0-1. So the A's back home at Cavalier Field. Be here again tomorrow night as they host the Liberal BJs. The BJs, it'll be the second game of the season out of the total of 8 that we will be playing. So down in the count, 0-2 is Kang. The pitch is fouled off, and we'll do the 0-2 over again. 1 on, nobody out for the A's. They're looking to turn their lineup over. Kang sends one. It falls out into the left center gap, and that will put 2 runners on with nobody away, and the A's have something cooking here. We'll see what they can do with it. So that turns the lineup over. It back at the top of the order with Jacoby Radcliffe. Radcliffe tried to lay down the bunt. Almost, like all but had it beat out. It was a bang-bang play right there at first base, and he was called out. Radcliffe takes one. It's sent down the third base line out into left field. It's falling foul. So Jacoby Radcliffe with a 111 batting average for the season so far. He bunts up the third base line, fielded by the third baseman. No play, and it is bases loaded. So bases loaded with nobody out, and here comes the pitching coach for the Hayes Larks. Larks, of course, coached again this year by Frank Leo. So we'll take this opportunity during this mound visit. Let's go ahead and thank some of our sponsors. We'll thank our Grand Slam sponsors, the City of Dodge City and Ford County, the Community Foundation of Southwest Kansas, Lewis Automotive Group, who also happens to be tonight's game night sponsor, and Curbs Law Office, LLC. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. So this mound visit is over, and we'll go back to work. It is Edward Gregory Jr. who got on an error his last time up. So the bases loaded situation for the Larks, and Gregory takes the first pitch outside for ball number 1. 2-0 count now to Edward. He'll send that one foul, and it's out of play. Makes the count 2-1. Bases loaded, so the A's hoping to get something going here. He'll foul that one. It's back into the backstop. Evens a count at 2 apiece. Edward Gregory played his junior season at Southern University. Comes from Detroit, Michigan. So Gregory will go down on strikes, and that brings in Cade Colbreth. Bases still loaded, one away for the A's, so they're definitely want to be aware of staying out of the double play ball. Takes the first pitch he sees. It's strike number 1. Called strike 2. Down in the count, 0-2 is Colbreth, and called strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts, and all of a sudden, things are looking better for the Larks pitching staff as there's now 2 away, and the A's in danger of leaving them loaded. So Blake Coleman steps in. He got on an error and fouls off the first pitch he sees. Down in the count, 0-1. Blake Coleman, the sophomore, played at University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Comes from Austin, Texas. And is down in the count, 0-2. Fouls that one off again. The count remains 0-2. We'll go to work. Coleman digs in. You're on the mound. It is a fly ball that will be hung up just a little bit too long, and the A's leave them loaded. They get nothing out of a bases loaded proposition, and we're headed to the top of the third. It is 1-0 A's. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Back in at Cavalier Field as we've worked our way into the top of the third. It is the upper part of the order due up for the Larks as Trent Baker takes the first pitch he sees and flies out to Isaiah Velasco out in left field. One pitch, one out, one away for the Larks. Brings up Dylan LaRue. LaRue grounded out his last time up. LaRue, another familiar face as he skies that one, but it will be pulled down. Blake Coleman there to handle that one. And you can't be much more efficient than that. 2 pitches, 2 away for the Larks. So that brings in Lane Sparks. He walked on his last time up. The Larks working their second trip through the batting order as that pitch from Gifford, it misses outside. No work down in the A's bullpen currently. There is a pitcher down in the bullpen for the Larks as that the ball from the bullpen gets away and ends up almost at the pitcher's mound. So we'll go back to work. A 1-0 count to Lane Sparks as he takes that one. It's outside and ball number 2. Gifford delivers. It's outside, ball 3. Jace Gifford, the Dodge City product, will be entering his senior season of high school. Delivers a strike on the outer edge and makes a count 3-1. Gifford working from about the first base side of the rubber. Gets that one popped up, and it'll go foul, and the count runs full. So a payoff pitch. The first one we'll see from Gifford, and we'll see what he dials up here to try to get the Larks to go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the third. The pitch misses low, and it's ball 4. So the payoff pitch walks the runner on, and that puts one on for Jackson Babcock, who grounded out to, he actually grounded into the double play that got the A's out of the bases loaded jam back in the first. Gifford delivers inside, and it must have been a little bit low, but it's ball 1. Throw to second. Not in time. Sparks now at second. 2-0 count to Babcock. And it's 3-0. Trio delivery. Gifford fires in right down the middle, and it's strike 1. So that brings in Tabor Stokes, and Stokes was selected as the beer batter tonight. What does that mean here at Cavalier? Well, it's discounted beer for the next 10 minutes if Mr. Stokes draws the strikeout. Grounded out his last time up, takes a swing and a miss, and down in the count, 0-1 is Stokes. Runners on the corners with 2 away for the Larks, and The A's trying to hold them scoreless here. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Larks, 1 run on 3 hits, and 1 error for the Dodge City A's. A total of 10 combined stranded runners already in this ball game as Stokes fouls that one off, and he's down in the count 0-2. The A's held the BJs scoreless through the first 4 innings last night. It was the 5th where they broke through. A balk was called, so that scores a run, and it's a tie ball game. No work in the bullpen for the A's right now. And Gifford delivers outside. It's ball 1. Stokes down in the count 1-2 with 2 away. 1 run scored on the balk call, and that moved Babcock over to second. Gifford working more from the center part of the rubber, gets the pop-up. Radcliffe giving chase, and he'll pull it down, and that will end the inning. So the Larks get a run on the balk call, but that'll be it. It's a tie ball game, 1-1. We're headed to the bottom of the third. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Bottom of the third, it is a 1-1 ball game, and Isaiah Velasco leading off for your Dodge City A's. Velasco singled his last time up. The A's scored their run in the bottom of the first, and the Larks answered back here in the top of the third. Velasco skies one. It's headed out into center field and will be pulled down by the center fielder Trent Baker for out number 1. Wind blowing from right to left here at Cavalier Field. It's not a strong wind, so not much of a factor, but balls are definitely hanging up in the air here tonight, as that'll bring in Kane Carlos, hit into a fielder's choice his last time up. Carlos takes first pitch. It's outside and high for ball number 1. You're still on the mound for the Larks, getting his third inning of work, and that pitch is sent out into left center field, pulled down by Baker, and out number 2. Quickly 2 away for the A's, and here comes Ryan Buckley. Buckley grounded out his last time up. The A's trying to get something going here so that they can answer back. It was the not being able to answer back last night that doomed the A's, as they scored 2 in the first inning and were held scoreless after that, as that pitch gets down into left center field. And it was the 8th inning that would doom the A's as 2 runs would score to give the BJs the 3-2 lead, and that would be the ball game as the A's would fall 3-2 last night. It was a 1-1 ball game here with runner on and 2 outs to bring in Dominic Roberts. Roberts takes the first pitch he sees. It's called strike. Drew the walk the last time he was up. The A's working on completing their second trip through the batting order as a pitch misses and hits 1 ball and 1 strike. Few of our players working through the crowd here tonight doing the 50-50 as wild pitch will move Buckley over to second, and it is 2 balls and 1 strike. Looks like Jaden Moreno, Eric Mendoza, and Matt Perez, who just joined the team, out doing the 50-50 raffle. You can see him on the bottom of your screen. They go out and they interact with the fans. They sell the 50-50 tickets. And Dom Roberts will draw the walk on the 3-1 count, and it's 2 runners on with 2 away. Here comes Ethan Kang. Kang hit a single out into left center field his last time up. First pitch that Kang sees is called strike. Down in the count, 0-1. One count. Kang sends that one high, and it will fall foul and out of play behind us. And he'll fall down in the count 1-2. Beer working on the mound has thrown 53 pitches through the first 2 2/3 innings, has thrown 39 of them for strikes. So the pitch misses outside. It's a little bit high to even the count at 2. Deuces wild across the top of the scoreboard. Here takes a look back at second, delivers, and it's popped up by Kang. Giving chase is the first baseman Babcock. He'll pull it down, and that will end the inning. The A's strand 2 more, and we are headed to the top of the 4th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. 7, 8, and 9 are due up for the Larks here in the top of the fourth. It is a 1-1 ball game, and is Jace Gifford back on the mound for the A's. His fourth inning is, let's see, now a 2-0 count. Grounded out his last time up. The Larks trying to complete their second trip through the batting order. Let's see, will take that one, and it's ball 3. Four-pitch walk. That puts one on with nobody out. Brings up Lorenzo Rios, the catcher, who got on via the error his last time up. A line drive right back at Kane Carlos, so one away for the Larks.
Caught it. Was thinking about throwing to first to double up the guy, but he didn't have time.
At the plate, the DH. Nick.
Looked over trying to get the double play and not getting anything there, and that brings in the DH in Nick Gray. So one on and one away for the Larks. Gray takes the first pitch. It's outside and a little bit low for ball number 1. Worked our way into the top of the fourth inning. Larks scored their run. It came on a balk call last inning. That pitch misses, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Liberal BJ game last night. Did we won? Did we what? Didn't we win? Dodge City win last night against Liberal?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I just
Oh, you're a Hayes Lark.
right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Gifford delivers that one. It's outside and a 3-0 count.
Who won the game last night? Liberal?
3-2. That pitch, it is another 4-pitch walk, and that puts 2 on with 1 away. No work in the bullpen yet, but it looks like the A's might be starting to send someone down there. So that brings in C.J. Reed. We're back at the top of the order for the Larks. Reed, 1 for 2 in the ball game, flew out his last time up. Reed, another one of those familiar faces, has been with the Hayes Larks for at least 1 year. I remember him last year for sure. I think he's been a couple of years as well. First pitch, called strike. It's on the outer edge and gets Reed down in the count, 0-1. Pitch is inside. It actually hits Reed in about the knee area, so he'll be hit by pitch. That loads the bases. Well, we're having deja vu all over again. Another bases loaded situation. We saw this back in the first. The Larks worked the bases loaded, and the A's got out of it with a double play. So we'll have a mound visit from head coach Jeremiah McCollum, and guarantee you this is nothing but a play to start working on getting somebody ready. So we'll take this opportunity. Let's thank some of our sponsors right now. On the home run level, we thank Cargill Meat Solutions, Lauren Dahl, I Don't Care Family Restaurant and Sports Bar, LLC, Parker Haskins Insurance Incorporated, TCBP LLC, which is Jimmy John's, the Victory Electric Cooperative Association Incorporated, and Forgone Financial LLC, Coke Fertilizer, Deriva Energy, Rabine Brothers, United Wireless Communications Incorporated, and Dodge City Kenworth. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. We go back to work. It is bases loaded. Trent Baker at the plate. He's 1 for 2, flew out his last time up. And ball one delivered by Gifford. There is work in the bullpen for the Dodge City A's. And there's people standing in the bullpen for the Larks. There's been a pitcher warming up, so I would imagine that the Larks probably making a pitching change in the next half inning. Count 2-0 to Baker. 2-0 delivery sent foul into the A's dugout, or rather bullpen, I should say.
I just wanted to have that deal open up with all your pages, and you could go through and look at all your pages.
2-1 the count to Baker.
Opened up.
Gifford looking in and has his sign. He'll come set, delivers, and it's a line drive out into right center gap. That will score 2 runs. Here comes the third. The throw home will not even be close. It's a bases clearing double for Baker, and the Larks lead it 4-1.
Say what? Okay, we'll take that.
So it is a 1-1 count to Dylan LaRue. He skies that one. It's headed out into left field, but Isaiah Velasco there, he'll pull that one down, and now 2 away. Baker stays at second, and with 2 away, that brings in Lane Sparks, who is yet to record an official at bat. Has drawn a walk both times he has been at the plate.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Sparks pops that one up. Called for by King. He's out into foul territory. He'll pull it down, and that ends the inning, but the Larks score 3. They lead at 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Brooks Jones will take over the mound for the Hayes Larks. The lefty.
Mine is just liability. And that's as low as we can find.
Brooks Jones from Hutchinson Community College played his freshman season. Comes from Lawrence, Kansas, and he'll deliver to Jacoby Radcliffe. It's ball one. Radcliffe is 1 for 2. Has bunted both times he's been at the plate. Almost beat out the first one and did beat out the second one, and that pitch is called strike to even the count at 1 apiece. Radcliffe will send that one foul. Falls down in the count 1-2. Radcliffe with a 111 average on the season so far for the A's. Takes that pitch outside. Evens a count at 2 apiece. The 2-2 delivery. Radcliffe sends that one down the third baseline, and it will fall foul outside of the fence, and we'll do the 2-2 over again. Radcliffe has been a staple in the Dodge City A's lineup. As he'll send that one. It's grounded to the second baseman. Throw to first was in time. And that is out number 1. In fact, Radcliffe has been in the leadoff spot, the 1 hole in all 3 games so far for the A's. So with that out, that brings in Edward Gregory Jr. He's 0 for 2. Got caught swinging his last time up. Takes a pitch inside for ball number 1. Gregory batting .200 on the season for your Dodge City A's. He's been another staple in the lineup. Has been in a couple of different spots. Hit in the 7 hole on opening night against the Batcats. Take that one for ball number 2. Was in the 6 hole on the second night and walked on in 4 out of the 5 appearances that night. That pitch comes up empty on the swing and makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Checks his swing, and they say he went around, so that will be strike number 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jones working from the third base side of the rubber, has waved off a couple of pitches, has what he wants and delivers. It's inside. It'll get away from the catcher, and that runs the count full. So we'll see a payoff pitch here from Jones. So lefty delivers, swung on and missed, and that is strikeout number 2 for Edward Gregory Jr. Here comes Cade Colbreth. He struck out twice, 1 swinging and 1 looking. Colbreth batting .077 on the season. Is a pitch well outside for ball number 1. One 0 delivery. Outside again, and it's 2-0. Lights are on here at Cavalier Field. Cloudy skies overhead. It was an awesome day. Highs reaching up into the low 70s. Barely getting there, actually. It was a cold, windy, drizzly day yesterday. The 3-0 count is fouled off and makes it 3-1. Weather improving even more tomorrow. The 3-1 outside, and Colbreth will draw the walk. That puts one on with 2 away. Currently 68 degrees in Dodge City. Feels like 68. Chance of rain overnight here. There's also a chance of storms tomorrow here around Dodge City as well, as the first pitch to Coleman is low for ball number 1. Blake Coleman 0 for 2. Flew out the last time he was up. He'll ground one to the third baseman. Throw to first in time. That'll end the inning. Before we get ahead of ourselves, though, Blake Coleman batting .333 on the season. That'll do it for the bottom of the 4th. We're headed to the top of the 5th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Top of the 5th, the A's trail 4-1 as it is the middle of the order due up. Babcock, Stokes, and Lissy for the Larks. Jace Gifford returns to the mound and throws strike number 1 on the outer edge to Babcock, who is 0 for 1, walked on his last time up. So the Larks working their 3rd trip through the batting order. And Gifford delivers low on that one, and it evens a count at 1 apiece. Larks worked the bases loaded last inning and made the A's pay. It was a bases clearing double that gave the Larks their 3 runs. They lead at 4-1. Pitch was called strike to Babcock, and he's down in the count 1-2. Gifford at 62 pitches and a fly ball that is easily pulled down by Kane Carlos at second base, and that is out number 1. So that brings in the beer batter, Tabor Stokes. He's 0 for 2. Hasn't struck out yet, but has grounded out and flown out. The first pitch delivered to him. It's a beautiful strike on the outer edge and has Stokes down in the count 0-1. Low called strike, and Stokes quickly down 0-2. We'll see what Gifford has dialed up here on the 0-2 delivery. As it's thrown in, it's bounced ahead of the plate for ball number 1. Yeah. 1-2 pitch from Gifford. Grounded up the third base side, and it is fair. And it will be a double. The throw was there. It was a great throw by Isaiah Velasco.
just getting the stuff. No, wait. There he goes. He got to get
It was a great throw, but just not applying the tag and runner on with one away.
I thought he was out when I saw the guy say safe. I thought, what? Then I saw the ball rolling. So
Yeah.
he must have hit the. I don't know if he hit the mitt and knocked it out or what. But, go ahead and nail.
So that brings in Thomas Lissy. Lissy's 0 for 1, walked on his last time up. Takes first pitch for strike number 1.
No, when they put
Is a 4-1 ball game. 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for the Larks. 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error for the A's. Stokes getting a lead off of second, and Gifford will step off, chases him back. We'll go back to work on an 0-1 count.
Did you really?
There is a player out in the bullpen for the Dodge City A's. That one's lined out into shallow center field, being waved home. The throw not in time.
Barely made it. And like
So the Larks lead it 5-1.
I never did do that.
Now batting the catcher.
Here comes Lorenzo Rios. Rios is 0 for 2, hit into a line drive. Hit right back at the second baseman, Carlos, his last time up. I'm going to say it's Amari Coleman
He didn't go to college?
Caden Stewart is who is in the bullpen for the Dodge City A's. As that pitch called strike. Evens the count at 1 apiece. 1 on, 1 away. 1 run has already scored, so the Larks have scored in the last 3 innings. They were held scoreless in 2 and have scored 5. 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and so far 1 in the fifth. Two-one delivery coming from Gifford. As he misses low for ball 3. Ooh, that one plucks Rios in the hip, and that'll be a hit by pitch that puts 2 on with 1 away. Here comes head coach McCollum, and we'll see if it's a pitching change. I'll about bet it is. No indication yet. He's going to go out and have a talk with the entire infield. Stewart's coming in. And it will be a pitching change. So the A's make the call to the bullpen. We'll tell you about it when we come back. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. the A's call to the bullpen, and it is Caden Stewart taking over for the Dodge City A's. Caden played his freshman season at Southern University, comes from Douglasville, Georgia. Set to face off against Nick Gray, the 9-hole hitter who is 1-for-1, walked on his last time up. Gray will take the first pitch he sees. It's strike number 1. That pitch is low, and it's ball 1. Just about an hour and 15 minutes into this ball game. We're in the top of the 5th with the Larks leading 5-1 as the pitch is low and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 run in already here in the inning. Both runners on the base paths right now, responsible of Jace Gifford. So the 2-1 delivery coming from Stewart is delivered outside, gets away from Roberts, so that'll be a pass ball that moves runners over to second and third. Gray will draw the walk, and we turn the lineup over back at the top of the order with C.J. Reed. Reed was hit by pitch his last time up. Is another bases-loaded situation. My goodness, we've worked it loaded several times in this game already. This is at least the 3rd time now. See, first pitch to Reed outside, and it's ball 1. Two-one the count after Reed fouled that one up the first base line, and Caden Stewart working from the first base side of the rubber comes set and delivers high for ball 3. The 3-1 pitch. Stewart with his right foot on the first base side of the rubber. Kicks, fires. It swung on and missed. Reed comes up empty on that one as he is trying to swing for the fences, and it's a full count. There's a countdown on the scoreboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. And the payoff pitch coming from Stewart. Heels come set. Delivers the payoff, and it's left high, and that will walk a run in. Well, not the best of nights for the Dodge City A's here as the pitching staff struggling to keep it in the zone. As that brings in Trent Baker. Baker's 2 for 3. He doubled his last time up. A single and a double, which makes him a triple and a home run short of the cycle. The first pitch swung on and missed.
You out, doesn't it?
Down in the count, 0-1.
A couple pieces of pizza, and I'll actually have all the pieces delivered before they get back to the bus. So
Oh, that'll
grab me a couple and go.
That'll work.
And if you look at me, obviously I don't mind being left out. I need to be left out.
That pitch is up high, and it's 1-1.
And I drove Fort Hayes down to Wichita this morning, and they fed me pizza for lunch.
Oh, really? Wow.
1-1 delivery coming from Stewart.
I see.
Bases loaded with one away, 2 runs in. The Larks lead it 6-1, and that pitch inside and almost grazes Baker. It's 2-1.
Yeah. We get a lot of them all over. I mean, even out of Wichita, I brought a bunch of kids back that were looking at the school, what they're doing right now.
Stewart kicks and fires. Swing and a miss by Baker that will even the count at 2 apiece. The A's desperately need to do something here and get 2 more outs. They're already down by 5 runs.
Oh, yeah.
But then sometimes they'll have like
2-2 delivery coming up
Right.
is delivered outside. The count runs full.
You ever tried warmed up pizza in an air fryer?
I've got an air fryer, but I just never. I think I just don't take the time.
Get used
Usually, I'll just eat at room temperature. I'll just leave it out and.
Another walk, and that walks in another one. The Larks lead it 7-1. Bases still loaded, 2 away, 3 runs in the inning with 1 away.
I know I buy like when Dillon's will have chicken wings on clearance, because they got to be sold that day. I'll buy them and I'll
8th batter at the inning, and here comes Wilhelm Allen, assistant coach for the A's, and going to go out and have a little chat with
I think I'll start trying that.
Caden, see if he can settle some things down and get the A's going here. Take this opportunity during this mound visit. We'll thank some of our sponsors.
go there. They've always got some clearance left over from the day before.
Our triple sponsors, Conant Construction LLC, Wild Pines Washes Dodge City LLC, Tommy's Car Wash, First Avenue Dental PA, ITC Great Plains LLC, Hinton Plumbing Service LLC, Medical Heights Dental Center PA, DC Appliance and Furniture, and Dodge City Eye Care. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. So with that mound visit, we'll go back to work. It is Dylan LaRue at the plate for the Larks. He is 0 for 3. A ground out and 2 flyouts as he takes the first pitch. Not sure where that one missed for ball number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the 1-0 grounded to the second baseman. They'll go to first for the out. So they'll trade an out for a run, and the Larks lead it 8-1.
That gets me to wondering what ham would taste like warmed up in an air fryer. I'll bet. Have you
So now runners on second and third with 2 away. And steps Lane Sparks.
If I do eat ham, I'll make it like in a casserole with scalloped potatoes.
Sparks means that the Larks have batted around in the inning. He'll take strike number 1.
Oh, yeah.
He is 0 for 1, flew out his last time up.
Okay.
As the pitch is called a strike, and he's quickly down in the count 0-2. So a good mound visit gets Caden settled down a little bit. Back in the throwing strikes category, has thrown 21 pitches since relieving for Jace Gifford, and that one misses low and outside. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Big difference.
The Larks lead it 8-1, 8 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. They've stranded 6 so far through this game. That pitch will be popped up and go foul. Count remains 1-2.
That air fryer. And I don't use the air fryer that often, but when I do, it's a tasty treat. It really is.
Radcliffe playing a little bit shallow out in center field as that pitch is popped up. Radcliffe tracking it. He'll be able to easily pull that one down for out number 3. That ends it. The Larks strand 2 more. They score 4 runs and lead it 8-1. And it will be the middle of the order due up when we return for the Dodge City A's. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Isaiah Velasco set to lead off as we've entered the bottom of the 5th inning. Collectively so far, the A's pitching staff has walked 8 and hit 2. That's 10 free passes, and that will definitely have an effect on the outcome of this ball game. See, Larks lead it 8-1. Jones back on the mound for the Larks, and it is a 2-0 count to Velasco, who is 1 for 2, flew out his last time up. 2-0 misses outside, and it's 3-0. Pitch is called strike. Velasco hitting 100 on the season and takes ball 4. That puts a runner on. The A's have their leadoff runner aboard. Leadoff runner aboard for the second time in this ball game. This is also the second time that Velasco has led off in the ball game. That brings in Kane Carlos. Takes a pitch for ball 1. Carlos hit into a fielder's choice and flew out his last time up. So he's 0 for 2 in the ball game. So after a quick mound visit, we'll go back to work. Jones has come in relief, has thrown 26 pitches so far. The 2-0 delivery is called strike. It's on the upper edge, and that makes it 2 balls and 1 strike to Carlos. Yeah, he's looking to try to get something going here as they scored 1 run in the first and have been held scoreless since. So almost a little bit of deja vu after the game at Liberal last night where the A's bats went silent late in the game. 2-2 the count. Jones fires in. It's ball 3. Ooh, called strike 3. Carlos not happy with himself. 1 away for the A's, and that brings in Ryan Buckley. Buckley singled his last time up. 1 for 2 in the ball game. Buckley hitting .250 on the season so far. First pitch misses low and inside. It's ball 1. Jones taking his time. That pitch called strike will even the count at 1 apiece. Two balls and 1 strike to count. Buckley takes strike 2. The A's will be back here at Cavalier Field tomorrow night. They host the Liberal BJs again. I shouldn't say again. That pitch is popped up, fielded, called foul, and that will leave the count at 2-2. So we'll go back to work after Buckley chopped 1 foul. The count remains 2-2, and 1 on with 1 away for the A's. Blasco over at first, gets his lead. Swung on and missed. Buckley will go down on strikes, and that's 2 away. Here comes Dominic Roberts. Roberts is yet to record an official at bat as he has walked on both times he's been at the plate. Roberts with no batting average yet on the season. Takes a swing and comes up empty, down in the count, 0-1. So the A's are doing their youth camps this week as well, working with the youth players. A lot of the youth A's, part of the youth organization, attend those camps. Getting an early start on baseball. Down in the count, 0-2 is Roberts. Pitch is fired low. Gets away from Rios a little bit, but blocked and kept in front of him. Jones finally has his sign after waving a couple off. Kicks and fires a ground ball to the second baseman, Reed. They'll go to first for the out. That will end the inning. The A's strand a runner, and we are headed to the top of the sixth. That will be the middle of the order due up for Hayes when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Cavalier Field. It is the middle of the order due up for the Hayes Larks. They lead this ball game 8-1. So we've worked our way to the top of the sixth inning. Babcock leads off. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Hit into a line drive his last time up. Caden Stewart back on the mound for the A's and takes the pitch for ball number 2. Two-0 pitch. Swung on by Babcock. Comes up empty, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. High fly ball. It's headed out to right field and off the wall. So that'll be a leadoff double for Babcock. Off the wall out near the 348 mark, and that's 1 on with nobody out for the Larks, and brings in Tabor Stokes. Stokes 1 for 3, doubled his last time up. Hit the bases clearing double that scored 3 for the Larks back in the 4th inning. First pitch, a curveball delivered on the inside edge, and it's called strike. Down in the count, 0-2 is Stokes, and I'm sure the crowd here at Cavalier would love to see a strikeout here as Stokes, well, he's the beverage batter. 0-2 delivery from Stewart. Oh, little bit low, and it's a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Nobody out. 1 runner on at second. Stokes will foul that one backwards. The count remains 1-2. The Larks were held scoreless in the first and second. They scored 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and 4 in the fifth. The A's scored their lone run in the bottom of the first and have been held scoreless since. 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error for the A's. They've stranded 10 runners already in the ball game. The Larks, well, they've stranded 8. 8 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors for the Larks in this ball game as count 2-2. Stewart delivers. It's popped up. Ethan Kang giving chase, pulls down another one out in foul territory, and that is out number 1. So 1 away, and that brings in Thomas Lissy. Lissy is 1 for 2. Singled his last time up. Foul tips that one for strike number 1. Oh, 1 delivery from Stewart. A flare out into left center and giving the stop sign, so that'll put runners on the corners with 1 away. Here comes Lorenzo Rios. Rios is 0 for 2, was hit by pitch his last time up. Rios takes the first pitch. It's left high. Ball number 1. Runners on the corners. 1 away. And the A's would sure love to hang a scoreless inning here before this one gets any more out of control. The 1-0 pitch. Runner goes, and it's fouled off. So Lissy will have to return back to first. 1-1 pitch coming up from Stewart. Stewart delivers a fastball left high, and it's 2-1. Called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Rios fouls it back into the netting. Count will remain 2-2. Rios sends that one down the left field line, and it will go foul. Count remains 2-2. The 7th pitch of the at-bat coming to Rios. Stewart now at 42 pitches. Pitch is left high, and it's a full count. So we'll see a payoff pitch here. See what Stewart has. As I said earlier, the A's would sure love to hang a 0. They sure need it here. The payoff. As the runner goes, and it's left outside. So bases loaded, and for the 4th time in this ball game, the Larks have loaded him. So bases loaded for Nick Gray. Gray, the DH. Has walked on the last 2 times he's been at the plate and takes the first pitch for a ball. The 1-0 pitch. Inside again, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So the A's in danger of walking a run in. There is work down in the bullpen now for the A's. There's work in the Larks bullpen as well. It's a lefty in the A's bullpen. 2-0, swung on and comes up empty. Francis O'Connor, the pitcher, down in the bullpen for the A's. 2-1 delivery, called strike, and that will even the count at 2 apiece. 2-2 pitch coming from Stewart. Babcock at third, Lissy at second, Rios at first for the Larks. Swung on and missed, and a big-time strikeout there for Stewart to get the second out of the inning. So that turns the lineup back over to C.J. Reed, who is 1 for 2, walked on his last time up.
Next up for the Larks, the leadoff, second baseman C.J. Reed.
The A's would sure like to try to get out of the bases-loaded situation here, and it's a fly ball down the line, foul. Ooh, that one was trouble. It hits just foul up the left field line, and will have a long, loud strike 1. So we'll go back to work. 0-1 count to Reed, who walked on. It's also been hit by pitch. That one's fouled off. It'll go well out of play to our left, and down in the count quickly, 0-2. An 0-2 delivery. Stewart kicks and fires. It's ball 1. Sure looked good from my angle, but there again, things are a little misconstrued because we're up high. A little harder to see where things are up down. It sure looked good here. That one's outside, and it's ball 2. So after falling down 0-2, and Reed's now worked the count even at 2 apiece. Deuces wild across top of the scoreboard. So we await the 2-2 delivery. Swung on and missed, and Reed will go down on strikes. The Larks leave them loaded, and the A's get the 0 that they needed here. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. 9, 1, and 2. Kang, Radcliffe, and Gregory Jr. due up here in the bottom of the 6th as the A's trail it 8-1. Brooks Jones back on the mound for the Hayes Larks as he'll deliver one that bounces off the catcher's gear for ball number 1. Ethan Kang steps in. He's 1 for 2, flew out his last time up. Kang batting 125 on the season. Pitch left outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So the A's, after having been held scoreless since the first inning, desperately trying to get something going here after hanging a 0 on a bases-loaded situation in the top of the 6th. It is a 3-0 count to Ethan Kang. And it is ball 4, take your base. The A's get the leadoff walk and the leadoff runner aboard. The A's had the leadoff runner aboard in the last inning, but not able to get anything with it. That turns the lineup over to Jacoby Radcliffe. So the A's starting their 4th trip through the batting order. Radcliffe grounded out his last time up. It's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Radcliffe has got 1 hit on the season and scored 4 runs. First pitch is a strike. Down in the count, 0-1. Jones a long look over at first. Radcliffe swings, comes up empty, and he'll be down in the count, 0-2. O2 delivery. Swung on and missed, and that will be a strikeout. Send Radcliffe back to the dugout and brings in Edward Gregory Jr. He struck out the last 2 times he's been at the plate, 0 for 3 on the night.
Up next, shortstop, Edward Gregory Jr.
Eric Mendoza in the bullpen now for the Dodge City A's. That pitch is fouled off by Gregory, and down in the count, 0-1. Looks like Dalton Campbell is in the bullpen for the Larks. Little flare ball out into center field. It pops, gets over the head of the center fielder, Trent Baker, who is charging. The throw in, and that will put Gregory on second. So runners on second and third, and you want to call it an error, but it's actually a hit. It just, Baker was charging on it. So it is the 5th hit of the ball game for the Dodge City A's. So that brings in Cade Colbreth. Colbreth is 0 for 2, walked on his last time up. Takes the first pitch for ball number 1. Cade with 1 hit has scored 3 runs on the season so far. And that pitch is delivered low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Runners in scoring position with 1 away for the Dodge City A's. Ethan Kang at third. Edward Gregory Jr. at second. Pitch is fouled off. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. Colbreth fouls that one off again, and the count will even itself at 2 apiece. See if the A's can get something going here. The A's have had runners in scoring position in multiple innings. Colbreth fouls that one off. They actually had their last runner in scoring position was back in the third inning where Ryan Buckley made it to second. Pitch is delivered outside. The count runs full. It's a countdown on the scoreboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Payoff pitch coming from Jones. Steadies on the mound. Kicks, fires. It's outside, and that will load the bases. The A's had the bases loaded back in the bottom of the first. Only got 1 run out of it. They actually had bases loaded in the second as well. Blake Coleman sends one back up the middle. They'll go to second for 1. Can Coleman beat it out? He does not. The A's leave them loaded, get nothing out of it, and we are headed to the top of the 7th. It is 8-1 Larks. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Welcome back into Cavalier Field. Eric Mendoza coming out of the bullpen for the Dodge City A's. Takes over the mound. So the A's making the call to the bullpen go to Eric Mendoza. He last pitched in the game against the Batcats back on June the 1st. He went 1 inning in that ball game, allowed 1 hit and 3 runs, and walked 2. So we'll go to work here. Trent Baker leading off for the Larks, and as a pitch well inside gets Trent to twist around to get out of the way, and he's got a 1-0 count. Baker 2 for 3 in the ball game, walked on his last time up. So that pitch is outside the opposite direction. 2 balls and no strikes. Mendoza working from the first base side of the rubber, delivers a pitch high, and it's 3-0. So the Larks, 8 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. They have stranded 11. The A's, 1 run on 5 hits, 1 error. They have stranded 12. 23 have been stranded so far in this ball game, and it's a leadoff walk to Trent Baker to bring in Dylan LaRue, who is 0 for 4, grounded out the last time he was up. 2 flyouts and 2 groundouts, and one on with nobody out. LaRue takes a strike on the inner edge. Owen is fouled and got a piece of Roberts. He's not feeling very good right now. Down in the count, 0-2. Home plate umpire is going to go out and walk out to the mound with Eric just to give Dom a little bit of time to shake that one off. You know, you can't give enough credit to the catchers. They wear a lot out there. Between blocking pitches that are low and blocking wild stuff, getting up out of their stance quickly to keep pitches in front of them, they do a lot of work. So home plate umpire give Dom a little bit of time to shake it off, and we'll go back to work. It's an 0-2 count to LaRue. Mendoza delivers outside for ball 1. The A's started the season against the Great Bend Batcats. They won opening night 8-3 in Great Bend and then beat the Batcats in a back-and-forth affair, as LaRue will go down swinging, and that is out number 1. So they beat the Batcats here at home. In the A's home opener back on Sunday night, it was a 15-12 affair, back and forth that the A's came out victorious. Of course, they then fell to the BJs last night 3-2. Lane Sparks at the plate, 0 for 2 in the ball game, flew out his last time up, takes first pitch, it's inside, ball 1. Eric steadies and delivers, and it's down low, makes it 2 balls and no strikes. Scoreboard operator's a little distracted tonight. Not on the live stream, it's good. Throw over to first, not in time. 2-0 count to Lane Sparks, and it's left low, makes it 3 balls and no strikes. Four-pitch walk puts 2 runners on with 1 away. Brings in Jackson Babcock. Babcock doubled his last time up. It was a double off the right center wall that scored runs. As this game has now eclipsed the 2-hour mark. So we'll go to work. Wayne Babcock 1 for 3 in the ball game. Grounds one, unable to come up with it as Colbreth. It rolls out into right field. The throw home is up the line. It'll score a run and put runners on the corners. The Larks now lead it 9-1. Runners on the corners with one away, and here comes Tabor Stokes. Stokes flew out his last time up, 1 for 4 in the ball game. Oh, a front door curve that catches the inner part of the zone, and it's a great one. 4 strike number 1 to Stokes. Gets him down in the count 0-1. Tom Roberts doing a great job blocking that one as the pitch was shy of the plate. Keeps it in front of him, keeps the runners on the corners where they need to be. 1 ball and 1 strike. The A's would love to get out of this inning with just the 1 run scored. They trail it 9-1, and that pitch is fouled off.
What if I said hi to that camera?
Gets Stokes down in the count 1-2. The outfield playing a little bit shallower tonight. The ball's not flying as much here. That pitch is called strike, freezes Stokes, and the Beverage batter comes through tonight for the home crowd. That brings in Thomas Lissy. Lissy is 2 for 3, singled his last time up.
Was the beer batter, so for the next 15 minutes, all beers are $1 off.
$1 off beers for the next 15 minutes here at Cavalier Field after that strikeout looking by Tabor Stokes. Lissy steps in. He'll face Eric Mendoza with runners on the corners and 2 away. Pitch is delivered low and outside for ball 1. Little knowledge. Cavalier Field is named Cavalier Field because it's on the complex of St. Mary's of the Plains, a former college that used to be in the building that is right behind us. A high fly ball out into right field. We'll tell you about the naming rights after this when we come back. It is stretch time in Dodge City. They trail the Larks 9-1. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Dalton Campbell comes out of the bullpen for the Hayes Larks. The junior from Oklahoma City comes from Liberty Hill, Texas. Lefty on the mound for the Larks, and he will face the middle of the order. Velasco, Carlos, and Buckley due up here as Isaiah Velasco takes strike number one. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game, walked on his last time up. The A's have been held scoreless since the first. I'm sure they'd like to change something here as that pitch misses, and it is 1-1. Velasco will foul that one off. Velasco with 1 run, a score, or 3 runs on 1 hit, as that is bounced high, fielded by the pitcher Campbell, and it will be out number 1. So it'll go in the scorebook as a 1U and brings in Kane Carlos. Carlos is 0 for 3, got caught looking his last time up. First pitch inside, and it's ball 1. Campbell has a little bit on his fastball. That one was scooting when it came in. The pitch again inside, and it's ball 2. Two-0 delivery. Campbell working from the first base side of the rubber. Finishes outside on that one, and it's 3-0. Called strike. 3-1 the count to Carlos. Trying to get a runner on. Grounded up the middle, fielded by the second baseman. They'll throw to first and in time for out number 2. So that brings up Ryan Buckley. He is 1 for 3, got caught swinging his last time up. Buckley with 1 hit has scored 1 run on the season. Pitch is a strike. Upper edge. A 1 delivery from Campbell was swung on. Comes up empty, does Buckley. Down in the count, 0-2. 2 away and nobody on. So the A's starting to run out of opportunities as they're down to their final 7 outs here. They trail the Larks 9-1. As a 1-2 count to Buckley. Swung on and missed, and Buckley will go down swinging. That ends the inning, and we're headed to the top of the 8th. That'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Larks. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Top of the 8th, Rios, Gray, and Reed due up for the Larks as Eric Mendoza returns to the mound for the Dodge City A's. Rios, the catcher, 0 for 2 in the ball game, walked on his last time up. Takes a first pitch for ball number 1. Eric Mendoza delivers a breaking ball inside that catches the zone, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Mendoza, the Dodge City native, gets Rios to pop that one up, and it's going to go foul and out of play for strike number 2. So I was saying, Eric Mendoza, the Dodge City native, he played here in Dodge City, played for Dodge City High School, also played his freshman season this year for the Dodge City Community College Conquistadors, who also play here at Cavalier Field. Pitch is grounded to the second baseman, throw to first in time, and out number 1. A big out number 1 to keep the leadoff runner off. And that will turn the lineup. Nope. Nick Gray, who is 1 for 2, struck out swinging his last time up. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to him. So we were saying earlier in the broadcast, it's called Cavalier Field because of St. Mary of the Plains College, which is located in the big building to our south. St. Mary of the Plains, they were the Cavaliers. Two balls and 1 strike. Pitch outside makes it 3-1. So during the school year, the Conquistadors play on this field. They play their fall ball, then have their spring season. They play here. Of course, the A's play in the summer, and then also some tournaments that are played here as well. The high school use this field a couple of times to get games in as well. So the walk puts Gray on and turns the lineup over to C.J. Reed, who is 1 for 3, got caught swinging his last time up. So the Larks now starting their 6th trip through the batting order as Roberts tries to frame that one on the outside, and it is ball 1. Wind still blowing from right to left across the field here this evening. Pitch is down low, and it's 2-0. 1 on and 1 away. The Larks have scored in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 7th innings. Grounded line drive, and it is a double play. All right, so I lied. It's not a double play. It was a fielder's choice. Runner on second with 2 away. And that one's grounded up the third base line and goes foul. Brings in Trent Baker. Baker's 2 for 3. Has walked on the last 2 times he's been up. Down on the count, 0-1, and it's grounded to the shortstop. Throw to first in time. That will end the inning, and the A's hang another 0, which they needed. We will be back with the bottom of the 8th 8, 9, and 1. Roberts, King, and Radcliffe due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Julio Ramos takes the mound for the Hayes Larks. It is a 1-2-1 count to Dominic Roberts, who leads off. Roberts grounded out his last time up. Sends one back to the pitcher. The throw to first in time. And out number 1. Well, the A's are starting to run out of opportunities as they're down to their final 5 outs as we've worked our way into the bottom of the 8th. They trail the Larks 9-1. Brings up Ethan Kang. Kang 1 for 2. Walked on his last time up. Rios delivers well outside, and Ramos, sorry. Rios is the catcher. Ramos delivers outside. It's ball 1. Comes off the mound, says, yeah, that was my fault. I did that. 1-0 delivered high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Kang. Not the biggest deficit that has been overcome. The A's several years ago played a game at Liberal. Talked about it last night on the broadcast. That game, a 9-run 9th inning that tied the ball game and sent the game to a 15 inning. It took us 5 hours to play that game. Check swing, they say yes he did. And that is strike number 2. The 2-2 pitch from Ramos. Called strike. And Kang will go down looking. That's 2 away and turns the lineup over to Jacoby Radcliffe. So the A's starting their 5th trip through the batting order, whereas the Larks are in their 6th. The outfield making a few adjustments. Moving to their left is the center fielder. Actually, to their right, our left. Radcliffe will take the first pitch inside for ball 1. Ramos working from the first base side of the rubber, throws in, and it is 2 balls and no strikes. 2 away with nobody on. And very similar to last night's game, the A's have been held scoreless since the first. A pop fly out into left field and called for by the fielder LaRue, and that will end the inning. The A's go down 1-2-3, and we are headed to the top of the 9th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. LaRue, Sparks, and Babcock set to come to the plate here in the top of the 9th. LaRue 0 for 5, went down swinging his last time up, and has a 2-0 count. Eric Mendoza back on the mound for the Dodge City A's as they're trying to get something going here. They've been held scoreless since the first inning. Mendoza delivers outside, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. LaRue draws a walk that brings in Lane Sparks. Sparks drew a walk his last time up. Collectively, the A's pitching staff has issued 13 free passes via the walk in this ball game, and that's going to be something that will haunt the A's. As that pitch is called strike, and it's a 1-2 count to Sparks. 1 on and nobody out. The A's struggling to keep the leadoff runners off, which has made the difference in the ball game. 9-1 deficit right now for the A's as Sparks will foul that one into the netting. 9 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Larks. They've stranded 14 runners. The A's 1 run on 5 hits and 1 error. They've stranded 12. Two count. Count runs full. Mendoza will show the payoff here. Stands with his right foot on the rubber. The payoff pitch, runner goes, and it's fouled off, and we'll do it over again. So Sparks stays alive and looks for another payoff pitch here. It is called strike 3, and that will send Sparks back to the dugout. A much needed out for the A's pitching staff, and that brings up Jackson Babcock. Babcock is 2 for 4. A single and a double the last 2 times he's been at the plate. Pitch is called strike. Babcock takes a step out. He'll foul that one off, and down in the count, 0-2. The 0-2 delivery. Mendoza comes set. Throws one outside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The A's will have tomorrow morning. They'll do their youth camps tomorrow morning. We'll come back to Cavalier tomorrow evening and try to avenge the loss in Liberal last night. Pitch falls foul in the Dodge City A's bullpen. Count remains 1-2. One-two delivery again outside. Evens a count at 2 apiece. 1 away for the Larks. LaRue on at first. Pitch is fouled off. It will go out of play into the party pavilion, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Off the end of the bat does Babcock, and it falls down into shallow left center field, and that is another hit for the Larks, and runners on first and second. So that brings in Tabor Stokes. He got caught looking his last time up. Gave the entire ballpark $1 off beers because he struck out. So go to work here. Stokes, 1 for 5, a ground out, a fly out, a double, a fly out, and a strikeout. His night at the plate as the Larks, in their 6th trip through the batting order, Stokes takes strike 1. And he'll send a fly ball out into center field. Radcliffe there to pull that one down. LaRue started to go, but thought better of it, so it's an unproductive out. To bring in Thomas Lissy. Lissy's 2 for 4, flew out his last time up. So the A's host the BJs tomorrow night here at Cavalier Field, and then we'll go on the road on Saturday. They go to Hayes America to play these Hayes Larks. And then the Larks will come back to Dodge on Sunday. Lissy takes a swing and a miss on that one and comes up empty. Down in the count, 0-2. 2 away with 2 on for the Larks. So the Larks lead at 9-1. They scored 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth, 1 in the seventh. The A's scored 1 run in the first. That has been their only scoring this whole ball game. Pitch misses for ball number 1 to Lissy. Another pitch outside, and it's deuces wild across the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Mendoza steadies and delivers. It's ball 3. So the count runs full. Runners will be off on the pitch here. Payoff pitch coming as Mendoza steadies. Kicks and fires in. It's grounded to the first baseman, Colbreth. Colbreth in the foot race. He'll take it on his own and ends it. That'll send us to the bottom of the 9th. The A's need 8 runs to extend. 9 runs can walk this one off. We'll be here for the bottom of the 9th after this. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Bottom of the 9th, and Edward Gregory Jr. leading off for your Dodge City A's. He's 1 for 4. Hit a double his last time up. Takes a first pitch for strike 1. Ramos back on the mound for the Larks, and now Gregory down in the count, 0-2. 0-2 delivery is a shallow fly ball. It'll land out into shallow center field. Nonetheless, it's a hit. Gets a runner aboard for the A's. And that brings up Cade Colbreth. Colbreth is 0 for 2, has walked the last 2 times he has been at the plate. 2 strikeouts and 2 walks his night. Cade come up in the first inning at home on Sunday and hit a 2-run bomb over the right field wall. The A's would love to see history repeat itself here. Leadoff runner aboard. Colbreth takes the first pitch. He sees it's a little low, but in the strike zone for strike number 1. Swung on, coming up empty is Colbreth. Down in the count, 0-2. The A's down to their final 3 outs. 0-2 pitch is swung on. Colbreth will go down on strikes. The A's now down to their final 2 outs. Looks like the A's are going to go with a pinch runner or pinch hitter here. Zach Hoskins going to get an at-bat here, hitting for Blake Coleman. Coleman was 0 for 4 on the night. So we'll see what Hoskins can do here. He'll wear a pitch, and that puts runners on at first and second with 1 away. The first pitch that he sees, it's a hit by pitch, and we'll go to work with 2 on and 1 away. That brings up Isaiah Velasco. Velasco's 1 for 3. He flew out his last time up. Graduate from Post University. He had a season there, and get back in, and we'll look at his stats real quick. Pitch is called, strike to Velasco. Played in 49 games, started 46 of them for Post. Averaging .325 on the season, 40 runs on 50 hits. 17 of them were doubles. Pitch was dropped, throw to third, not in time, and that will put runners in scoring position for the A's. Velasco, a .429 on-base percentage, was slugging .558. So 1-2 the count for Velasco. Ramos delivers inside to even the count at 2 apiece. Velasco scooting back on that one, almost wore a pitch. We'll go to work here. 2-2 delivery as Ramos steadies and delivers. Inside, check swing. It's going to run the count full. Payoff pitch coming. You like when you see a pitcher that works with some tempo, and Ramos is doing that here. Comes set, delivers a fly ball out into center field. Giving chase is Trent Baker. It'll be a sacrifice fly, and that will score a run. The A's trail at 9-2. So that moves Hoskins over to third, and that'll bring up Kane Carlos. Carlos is 0 for 4 on the night, grounded out his last time up. Kane played in 45 games this year. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Average .293 at the plate. And after fouling that one off, we'll even the count at 2 apiece. Time is called. So we'll go back to work. Pitch misses outside. Kane played at Eastern Arizona College, comes from Hawaii. Two and one, the count to Carlos. Ramos delivers. It's swung on, coming up empty as Carlos was trying to swing for the fences. And that evens a count at 2 apiece. 2-2. Little dribbler up to the shortstop. The throw to first. In time. That'll end the ball game as the A's fall 9-2. We'll take a step aside and come back with your post-game wrap-up. The Larks victorious on open night here in Dodge City. It is their opening night. We'll be back tomorrow night with the Liberal BJs. We'll take a step aside, come back with post-game wrap-up. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Cavalier Field as the A's fall to 2-2 on the season. They drop the game tonight 9-2 against the Hayes Larks as the A's struggle offensively a little bit. They score 2 runs. They score 1 in the first and 1 in the ninth. That is the only offense that they get available. They had opportunities, so they'll get 1 run. Edward Gregory Jr. comes up in the first inning, gets on an error, and he'll come around and score after being moved around. He scores on an error, so that's an unearned run for the Hayes Larks. And the A's would load it up after that. They'd have opportunities. They'd load the bases up again in the 6th inning. They would leave them loaded. And then in the 9th, Edward Gregory Jr. would again lead off. He had hit a single. And then as Zach Hoskins hit by pitch, he would come around to third base, but the A's would fall 9-2. Final game numbers, the Hayes Larks, 9 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. They strand 16 runners. The A's, 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. They strand 13. Pitching staff for the A's, it was not a good night on the mound for them as collectively Jace Gifford, Caden Stewart, and Eric Mendoza combined to go the distance on the game. They struck out 5, but walked 13 on 10 hits and allowed also 2 hit batters as well. So Gifford will take the loss. The win will go to the Hayes Larks, and we'll wrap this one up. I am Justin Hergert, have been alongside with Amory Macias assisting with the live stream tonight. The A's fall 9-2. They're back in action tomorrow night with the Liberal BJs to avenge the loss from last night. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball.